Hi guys, welcome back to the next lecture. So this is the lecture 5 basically. In previous 4 lectures we have covered that what is Python and why do we need Python, what is the definition of Python, when Python is created, who created Python, and these all basic concepts. And in lecture 2 and 3 we have covered what are the variables, what are assignment operators, what are the operators in detail. We have done arithmetic operators in detail also, condition statements also. And in the last lecture, in the lecture 4, we have covered what are the loops and why do we need loops, for what kind of tasks we need loops. So we have covered two kind of loops, which are while loop and for loop, and I have told you the importance of both the loops and how do we use those loops. So we have done some practice questions also on that. But now in the lecture 5, what we are going to cover now, we are going to cover strings and lists. So although in the previous lecture I have covered lists, but now in lecture 5 we are going to cover these all concepts in detail. So let me start with the strings. So what are the objectives of this lecture? So for strings, fundamental data structure for handling text Python, and learn to create the manipulate strings using indexing, slicing, formatting, escape characters, and powerful built-in string methods. So first of all we are going to cover what strings are. So for explaining strings I have to open the VS Code, and then I'm going to explain each and every single thing in you in detail. So let me come to the VS Code. So here we are on VS Code now, and first of all, first topic is what is a string. So I have told you about strings in previous lectures also, but now we are covering it in detail. So for now, I'm defining you a string. So we need a variable to store a string in that variable. So I'm going to declare a variable which is called name, and the name is I'm declaring pyth, and it is Python. So Python is a string here basically. In double quotes we store a string, as we know that it is a data type, and for checking what kind of data type it is, we can use the function also, as I have told you before. So now we are going to use type here, and you can see it will print class string. So it is a string data type basically. So for now, what is indexing in the string? So indexing is basically telling a position of the letters which is stored in the string. So with the help of indexing we can do slicing also. Don't worry, I'll tell about you slicing. But what is indexing basically? So indexing is a positioning of the letters, that at which position that what letter is stored. So if in this string called Python, which is stored in the variable name, so I want to know the location of t. So then how can I know the location of t, that where t is stored in that? So with the naked eyes I can see that t is stored in the middle, but if I don't know the word which is stored in the string, so how can I know the letter t is stored in the index? Like at which index that letter is stored, I want to know that at that t is stored at which index. So then how can I know? So for finding t, like for printing t, that I know, if I know the index of the t, I can print the value t here. So let me show you an example how I'm going to do it. Just see the syntax here, don't try to see the logic or something. I'll explain everything, so don't worry about it. And now I'm going to print name, then square bracket, and which is 2. So you can see here it will print t. So how I did it, मतलब ये हुआ कैसे कि how I printed t here exactly, how I know the location of the t. Similarly, if I want to print h here, so I can print 3. So you can see it is printed h. So how I am doing this, like how I know that without writing here h or something, I am printing h from the string. How? So it is done by the help of indexing. So if I want to also, I'm giving you one more example. If I want to print the last value which is n, so I can print it by -1, and you can see here n is printed. So how I'm doing these tasks? So let me explain it by example and the concept of indexing. So with indexing, indexing is basically positioning of the letters which is stored in the string. So if we see the string here, so it is P, Y, T, H, O and N. So you can see there are total 6 letters, P, Y, T, H, O, N, which is, if we see the value of P, at first it starts with the 0, not with the 1, it starts with the 0, and then Y starts with 1, and then T is stored at 2 index, and H is stored at 3 index. Similarly, O is stored at 4 index, and N is stored at 5 index. So that's how we do these indexing from starting to end. But now uh, there is only one thing to remember in that thing, like if we are doing from beginning to the end, it always starts from 0, not with the 1. You have to remember that. So but there is a problem. If I want to print the last index, like for printing from the end to start, from not beginning to end, from reverse order. So if I want to count it from the reverse, I'll count it from in negative, -1 and -2, and it is -3, and it is -4, and it is -5, and it is -6. So that's how it is. So from beginning to end we start from the 0, and from end to beginning we start from -1. So that's how it works. So you have to remember these conditions. I'll comment out this. And now if I want to print from the first to last, suppose I want to print the whole thing, like I want to print the whole string here. So what I'm gonna do is print name and then square brackets, which is a part of the syntax. You have to learn that. And I'm defining from 0, and you can see it will print Python whole. So how I'm doing this? So we have done with the index part. So this is the index which we have covered, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, from beginning to end. And from end to beginning we start from -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. So doesn't matter what is the length of the string, we can index it by this only. So this is the method how we index the Python the string. And also in the list also we do the same thing. For now, skip this part which I have told you. So let's see in the list, if I have some list which contains fruit names. Let's suppose it contains apple and banana and then orange. So this list contains 3 strings: apple, banana and orange. So the whole list, the length of the whole list is 3. We know that the length of the whole string whole list is 3. So if I want to index that, so I am indexing it by apple, banana and orange. Here first of all the value of apple is 0, and the banana is 1, and the orange is 2. So it is similar to the string. So that's how we do a string slicing also, and that's how we do list slicing also. So for now we are doing strings part. So it's just a basic overview of list. Don't worry, we'll come to the lists in detail after that. But first we have to cover strings. So the part strings, now we have done with the indexing. So I told you that how to index the strings, like how to position the letters which are stored in the string. So if I want to print from beginning to end, so I'm doing this. So how I'm going to do this, let me give you the syntax of that. If I want to print the slicing, so it is the first we have to define the start part, then stop part, and then step part, same as we did in the for loop. So in for loop, when we use range function, then it will define first that the start part, and then where to stop, and then how much steps it will take. So similar as in the stop part, stop is excluded and start is included. I'll write here that it is included and stop part, it is excluded. And you know what excluded means, that if I say stop is equal to 30, so it will not print 30, it will print up to 29 only, it will skip the 38 part. If I want to print up to 30, I will define it as a 31. So that is the point. So now I'm commenting it out. So now giving an example of slicing, if I want to print Python, so I want to print it from first three letters only. So if I want to print first three letters only, what I am going to do is using print function and defining name, square brackets. First I have to define from where I have to start. So I have to start from the 0, and then I have to print up to 3 indexes. So we know the counting, that if I want to print the 3 indexes, so first of all it starts with 0 and then 1 and then 2. So these are the 3. But if I write here 0 up to 2, these are the 3 indexes that we know. But if I am going to print, it will print only py. But I want to print up to the t also, like I want to print up to p by t, up to 3 indexes, up to 3 positions, but it is not printing t. Why? Because we can see here it is a start and it is a stop and it is a step. So we have not specified the step because it is predefined, like it is by default incrementing by 1, so we don't have to specify it here. But the point is, in stop you can see it is excluded, as I have told you in a for loop also. If I want to print up to the second yani ki third option, then I have to define it +1. So if I want to print it up to the second index, I have to write here up to 3. So you can see if I write here 0 to 3, then it will print up to p by t, you can see. So that is the point of that excluded. So I think you can understand right now. And if I want to print the mid part, like I want to skip the first part and I want to print it up to the 3 indexes, so what I can do is use again print function, name and square brackets, and I want to print the first step. So I will begin with 2, and then I want to print 3 letters only, so 2, 3 and 4. So I'm going to print 5. So you can see THO, so it skips the part because it started from the second index, which is actually third, but here we can write second only. So if I want to print from second index, I will write here 1 and then 4, and you can see here it will shift up to YTH, which is P is skipped and YTH is print and ON is skipped. But now if I want to print from the end of the string, like I want to print N, O and H, last 3 letters only, so which is not HON. I don't want to print HON, I want to print NOH. Then how can I do it? So here comes the part of step. So now if I want to print that, I have to define the steps here. So now for reversing the string, we have to use print, and then we are going to use here name, and then you can see I'm going to specify from -1 because I want to print start from the -1. So -1 is the last indexing, as I have told you in indexing part. So we start with the -1 index, which is n, and we want to go up to the h part, NOH part. So h is on -3, you can see here as indexing, h is on -3. So I have to specify it up to -4 because I want to print it up to -3. But if I write -3 here, -3 will not be considered, it will consider up to -2 only. But I want to print h here also, so I have to write here -4. So then what will happen is, it will ignore the t part, it will print up to the h. I think you got it. So now the main part is I have to specify the index here. Sorry, step here. So step is -1 because -1 like if we did -1 then it will become -2, and from -2 if we do -1 then it will become -3, and from -3 if we do -1 then it will become -4. So that's how it is going. So I have to specify step here as -1, then it will only do the reverse part. So now we will see it will print as NOH, you can see that. So it is that much simple. It is pretty complicated at first, but if you practice these things, it will become easy for you. So you don't have to worry about it. You just have to do practice more and more, and then it will be easy for you. So now I'm going to tell you one more thing is, we don't have to specify the ending part of, again and again. If I want to print from first to the last part and I don't know what is the end part, so I can use here simply name and square brackets 0, and then I can leave it right here. So it will print from 0 up to the end as it is. We don't have to specify the last step. You can see it will count, always it will count it by itself. So we don't have to specify every time. So it does it. Now if I want to print the reverse of the string, that is very much important part. It will come in your exams in also. So you have to listen it carefully. So now if I want to reverse the string, so how I'm going to do slicing. So for reversing the string by string slicing, all we can do is we have to specify first from where we have to start. So as we know, if we are doing reverse, so we have to specify from the last. So, and the last part of the indexing will start from -1, as we all know. And now I don't know the first part, so I don't know how much is the length of the string, so I'm not defining the length part. So it will calculate it by itself. So all I have to do now is specify the string step of the string. So then I'm going to specify the step, and now you can see here it will print the reverse of the string, which is a very important part. So it prints up to N O H T Y and P. It is the reverse of the string. So it is that much simple. If I want to print from starting to end, we can print it like 0 to that, and it will print it as Python. So that's how it works. So we have covered with the indexing of the string, and we have covered slicing also of the string. So now move to the further topics. We are on the PPT, and what we have done is how to manipulate and create the strings and using indexing and slicing. Now see what formatting is. So formatting is a very basic part. I'm going to explain it into the VS Code. Let's come to the VS Code. So here we are in VS Code. First I'm going to clear this all, and then now we need to create a string here. So name is equal to, suppose it is hash. Oh, it is in slice hash, and we need one more variable to explain what formatting is. So if I want to specify age, which is 20, so I want to print the both values. If I print name and age here, so it is printed, but I want to draft a message also. So I need to draft a message that this is my name and this is my age. So I want to say hi and print that this is my age and this is my name. So if I want to write it as a string that hi, name is Yash, and I'm 20 years old. So it will print simply. You can see, hi, my name is Yash, and I'm 20 years old. So it is not that much big problem, but I don't know name exactly. If the user haven't provided the name, like if I don't know the name, then I don't know what is stored in the variable called name. So what I have to do? So this is the part of the syntax. See it carefully. I have to do this middle brackets and specify the name here, and I don't even know what is stored in the age, so I'm going to do this as age. I know it is pretty confusing for you, because if you are saying it for the first time, it is confusing for you. So you can see here it is, and name and age is printed as like that. There is a syntax error here. I just forgot to write F here. So you can see here, if I write F, you can see, hi, my name is this, and I'm 20 years old. So the value of name is printed here, and the age is printed here. It is pretty confusing. For more clarification, I will just take input from the user. If I have to take input from the user and I don't know what is the name of the user, so how can I print? How can I write it in a string? So I want to take input from the user. So I'll take input from the user. What is your name? Let's check it. Write a message. Enter your name. And then I don't even know the age of the client, so I will write int and input. After message, enter your age again. So I'm going to do here is write f and then double quotes and then I and then again and let's write a message. Name is and I am age user. So it is the message. So if we run this code, you can see here it is asking for your name. If I write name, suppose Rahul, and then we will enter his age, which is if I write 18, then you see here my name is Rahul and I'm 18 years old. So it is that much simple. For these kind of tasks we can use for formatting also. For one more task we can use formatting. Let me first comment it out first. So you can see if I store value of pi, so value of the pi is 3.105 or so on. Let me just writing random numbers. It is not the actual value of the pi, so I'm writing random numbers here because I haven't learned up to the 8 or 10 decimal. I just know that 3.14 which is used as a value of the pi. So I'm writing the value of pi here, but I want to print pi up to 2 decimal index also only. So I don't want to print 5073 these all things. I just want to print it up to the 2 decimal index. Like I want to print up to 3.14 only. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write it here print and then f then x and then pi. Sorry. Let me do it. I just did the mistakes in the syntax. So we'll do this and then pi up to now I think it is right. So let's see 3.1415. So it is a rounding of this. If you see this, if I did this, it prints 3.14. So that's how it works. It is printing up to the 2 decimal places. So this is the basic syntax. If I want to write here something, if I have a value of something more, I have a float value here called num and I want to see the value of it is 2.876 and all. I want to print it up to the 3 decimal places. So what I'm going to do is print and f then double quotes and then bracket and then the name of the variable, then this column and then dot up to that much decimal places I want to print up to. If I want to print up to 3 decimal places, so I write 3f here and this will print up to the 3f. So you can see 2.878 which is 2.878 here. So that's how it works. So it is that much simple and we have done with the formatting also. Now I move to the further topics of strings. So come to the PPT and we have done manipulation and we have done indexing, slashing and formatting. So now what is escape characters? So escape characters is nothing and it used rarely, but yes it is used. Some 1 or 2 escape characters are important. I'm going to tell you about now. So come to VS Code. So we are on a VS Code. Let me clear everything here. So right clear now. It is here. Here we are on VS Code and the topic is escape characters. And Like, see, if I want to store something into the string in a single quote of the string, let me see. If I want to store that statement that so if I store in double quotes, that's fine. But if I store in single quote, something is stored in a single quote, then there is an error. So how do I solve it? So I use a backslash here, which is this. So now it knows that I'm using it as a apostrophe comma. So if I print name, see, it is printed successfully. But if I remove this backslash, then Python will be confused because see, there is an error, because here I is divided into a single string and m and yes, that is not divided because I haven't provided any comma or a single quote. So I have to use backslash here for single string, and you can see it will be printed without any error. So that is escape character. One more escape character which is important. If I want to store something in the string and I want to print it line by line, like in next line, so I'm going to show you. Uh, so now you can see if I print string, which is this is Python. So now I want to print this hi on the first line and this is Python in the second line. So how can I do it? I have to use here a new line escape format. Escape format, how do I use it? With the help of backslash n and the space. And now if you see, I'll print it. I is printed in the first line and this is Python is printed in the second line. So these are the escape characters which we use in Python for doing some small tasks. So it is simple, but you just have to remember the syntax of that escape characters and you can use it simply. So now move to further topic. So next we are doing is we have done with the indexing, slicing, formatting, escape characters, and now we are doing powerful built-in string methods. So this is the most important topic of string. So we are going to cover that in detail. First of all, without moving into the VS Code, we should see in the PPT that what is written. See string operations, access individual characters using index position. Example, this is the indexing part. We have done with the indexing, slicing, and if you see control string like format, we have done with the formatting also. So and now we have done with the this part also, and then we are doing powerful built-in string methods. So these are the powerful built-in string methods. So we are going to do that them all one by one. So let's come to the VS Code. So now we are here on the VS Code. Let me clear it this first. So one by one I'm going to explain every built-in method, so you just have to write in your notes. So now if I want to store something data which is a string, if I want to store the string Python, so now the first built-in method is upper. So you can see these all the letters which are stored in this string are in lowercase, but if I want to print them in a uppercase, like I want to capitalize all the letters which are stored in the string to be uppercase. So how can I do it? So here I'm using a simple data dot upper, and you can see now it will be on a uppercase. So this is the built-in method, and you just have to learn the syntax of that. There is no other option. You have to learn the string. You have to learn the syntax of that. That is the only option. So one by one, I'm going to tell you each and everything. You just have to write the syntax of each and everything in your data in your notes. So now move to the next. Similarly, it is upper, so we have a lower also for doing the opposite thing, which is if this was in a uppercase, so then what we have to do is, if I want to print it into the lowercase, then we will do it lower, and then you can see it will convert it into the lowercase. So it is that much simple. Now the next is I'm telling you about a replace built-in function. So which is, if this Python is written as Python and I want to replace one letter from another, like here you can see it is Y, but I want to replace it with A. So how can I do it? I can use here a built-in method, so which is a replace method. So data dot replace, and here you can see if I'm using replace, so I have to write first the letter I want to replace. So here I want to replace Y and with A. So you can see here it replaced the letter Y with A. You can see here is a Y and here is a A. So it is that much simple. Now move to the next topic, which is count. So count means if I want to know the that how much time how many times the letter has came into the string, like we should change the string here, and so string is now programming, and now if I want to check that how many times m is appeared into the list, so how I'm going to check that? So I'm using print, and with print I'm using count function, data dot count, and I want to check about m. So I'm going to print it, which is 2, because m is appeared 2 times in the string. You can see I want to, if I want to check other string also, I can check it, like if I want to check about r, how many times r appeared into the list, into the string. So you can see also r is appeared 2 times in the list. So it is that much simple. Now the next thing is find. So how like find works. So if I want to know the exact location of r, so yeah, for a, so how can I know the location of a? As we all know, in the indexing part we have done with the positioning part, and if I want to find the position of that letter or character, so it will return the indexing of that. So here if I print something, now see, let's suppose I want to know the exact location of O here. So I'm using print function again, and then data, and then I'm using find built-in string method, which is, so now I want to know the location of O here. Sorry. So see what it returns. It returns 2 because it is on index 2, because you can see it starts from 0 and P is on 0 and R is at 1 and O is at second index, so it returns second. So if I want to print something, I want to find something which is appeared 2 times in a list, in a string, so what it gonna return? Let's see. So if I want to find G here, so let's see, you can see it is on 3, क्योंकि it always returns the first part, uh, like it is iterating over the string, like it checks first index here, second, third, fourth, fifth. If it found at fourth index, found at third index, then it will not go for further, it will just print that. If it is appeared on the first appearance, it will print the index of that, it will not go further about checking from the last. So that's how it does. So it always returns the first appearance of the letter. So now it is done with the 1 2 3 4, we have done with the 5 built-in string methods. We have left with the some more, so let's cover it. We are left with a title and the capitalize method. So let me write it first, title. And so there's a difference in between both of them. See, if this letter is small, then I can use title also, or I can use capitalize also. What it does basically, it does the first letter capital, so it makes the first letter capital, which is stored in the string. So if I want to use it as a data dot title and leave it here, so you can see now if I print programming, so P is capital here, but here you can see P is in lowercase, and but now when it prints in a uppercase. Same if I want to print with capitalize, see what it does. So you can see here it also printing the same. So the what is the difference between them? So there is a difference between them is if it is stored again, uh, see if there are two words in the string, and now if I print, see what's the output. You can see here now. So title is doing every word, the every word of the string will become uppercase, but in capitalize only the first word, first letter will become in uppercase. So this is the difference between title does what for each word. Let me write it here. This. So here you can see if I'm writing this, see the first word is always capital or in uppercase. So first letter is always in uppercase, which is stored in the string, and in capitalize only the first word is capitalized, and the when we use title, every word, the letter of every and each and every word will become in uppercase. So that is the difference between these two. So now we have left with three more, and we are going to cover them also. So now if I want to check something, like if I want to check that it is starting from P or not, or it is ending from N or not, so I can check it. How I can use this, and data dot starts with, and then I can write here P. So it is an, so it is a built-in method. You can see if I run this file, it returns true. Yes, because it is starting from P. I can also use two words or three words here, three letters, sorry. So if I run this, it is returning true. But if I say the false statement, like it is not starting from P, why? So you can see now there is a false, because it is a false statement that it is not starting with py, it is starting from pr. So we have to use pr here, and it will return true. So same we have the opposite method here, data dot ends with, and we can write here we have on, where we can use two letters here, three letters here, or the last letter also. So see it is returning true here, and it is also true. So we can check for false statement also. If I write this, it will return false. So that's how it works. So now the next thing is we have to cover is a strip built-in function, which is if say like listen, if I stored hi here, and there's a space between this. So you can see now if I print data simply, so see what returns. It is returning with the space, but here if I don't want to print it with the space, so what I have to do is, so I'll write data dot strip here and print it See, the space which is in between is removed with the help of a string. So it is also a built-in function. So you can use it too. You just have to learn the syntax of these things. So uh, these are some built-in functions for the string. And now move to the next topic. Come to the PPT first, and then see. So now we are on a PPT, and see what is written in PPT. We have done with the indexing here and slicing here, and now we have done with the formatting or these backslashes tools, or then we have done with these things also. So I've told you about upper, lower, strip, replace, split, and find here. So now next is come to the list. So we have done with the string part. So we have done with the indexing of the strings, and we have done with the slicing of the strings. We have done with the formatting of the strings. We have done with every single detail about the strings. So now come to the lists. So a list in a Python stores multiple elements in a single variable. You can access them by index, update values by assignment, and use methods like append, insert, and remove. So don't worry about that. I'm going to tell you about these functions also. These are also the built-in function, but these built-in functions are used in the list, not in the string. So you don't have to combine them. So keep them apart. So now let's see what is written. Then we will come to the VS Code and I'll explain. So traverse list using for loops or while loop to process each element efficiently. Nested list also allow you to represent structured data like tables or grids, making list a powerful tool in a Python programming. So yes, we can use loops in a list, so it is very useful thing. So now I'm going to explain what lists are. So first we have come to the VS Code. So now we are on a VS Code. Let me clear it all first. See. So now I'm going to explain what lists are. Let's suppose if I have a list. Uh, Let me give you an example. If I want to store the marks of the students, and there are names, you can see. So lists are stored in a square brackets. So the first student is Yash, and then second is Rahul, and then no, it's not one. Then see Priya, then Ria. So there are four students here, and now I want to store the marks of them. So this is also stored in a list. So we can store multiple things in a list. Now you can say that if I want to store names, I can also store like that in a string, Yash, and then Uma, and then Rahul, and then Priya, and then Maria. So why we are using this thing? So see, it is a whole one string. You can see here, if I am printing that, there is a difference. So oh sorry, I haven't provided print. So, now see, it is printing like that, but it is printing in this format. So they are four different things. So if I want to append, if I want to change something in Rahul, I can change simply. But if I want to change in this, in from string, we can't do it. Like also strings are mutable, we can change them, but we can't do some operations in that. So lists are most useful than a string. You I'm going to explain it in detail now. Just I'm giving you an overview. Okay. So now, if I want to store marks, yeah, again. So yes, this is example. If I want to store marks of the students, so you can say like I can store them like in that way also. If I suppose Yash has scored 78, and then Rahul has scored 67, and then Priya scored 98, and then Riya scored 56. So these four are uh, in a string. So although we know that these four numbers are integer, but they are stored in a string like that. But if I am using a string here, so I can store them as integers. So you can see 67 and then 98 and then 56. So the four numbers are stored in a list here, but these four numbers are stored in a string here. Also we can check the data type. Mm, so see, this is a list and this is a string data type. So values which are stored in a list are integers, and the values these are all stored in a string. But so because it's a string data type, so we can't store them like that. If I want to do some operations, I can't do some operations in a string, because if I want to add something into that, I can't add, because it's a string data type. Only can add into the integer data type, and because it was not a single number, so I can't even change the data type of that and then do some operations on that. So we use lists here, so that's why we need list. Now we can do some operations also in the list. So what kind of operations? So the first is, suppose there are four students and I forgot to write the name of one more student. Like I want to store the name of one more student in the names part and in the marks part also, but I forgot to write it at first. I created the list, so how can I do that? So I can use append here, so I can use names dot append and then brackets, and then you see, if I forgot to write Rahman, so see, now I have used append, and now if I print names, so you can see here Rahman is also added at the end. So that's what append does. Also if I want to add marks of Rahman into the marks list, so I can do that also with the append, with the help of append. So now I'm doing marks and append, and then if Rahman scored 98, and you can see now oh, I haven't provided a function. So now see, 98 is added into the list. So that's what append does. This is a built-in method of a list. So now move with the next topic. Next built-in function we'll see. So what is the next built-in function is? So now we first have to know that how we do indexing and slicing of the list. As I have told you in the strings, this is the same. Let's comment it out. See, here's a list called marks, and if I want to index it here, so you can see 78 at 0 and 67 is at 1 and 98 is at 2 and 56 is at 3. So you can see here. So from last we do what is from -1 and from -2 and then -3 and then -4. So at first, if we start from the beginning, we start from the 0, and if we are counting from the last between, we start from the -1. So that is the rule of indexing. Let me comment it out first, and then if I want to print the index value of at second index, so I'm going to print it. So marks and then second. So 98 will print it. You can see I know the value 98. So that's how we done indexing, and if I want to print the last value, which is -1, so now you can see it will print 56 here. So that's how we do indexing, and same as we can do slicing part here. So I can print it like marks and then 0, and and then okay, it will print from beginning to the end whole string. And if I want to reverse it, the thing which we have used in the string part, so we can do the same here. See, there are values which are reversed from the list, so we can do slicing like that, and we can do indexing like that. So this is the point here. Now come to the built-in methods again. We have done with the append method, and we have done yes, we have done with the append method here. So now the next method is extend. So if I want to extend it, like if I use append here, what is the problem in the append? वैसे तो अपेंड बिल्कुल ठीक है, मतलब अगर हमें प्रिंट करना है और सबसे लास्ट वाले वैल्यू में अगर हमें कुछ ऐड करना है तो हम अपेंड यूज़ कर सकते हैं। पर अगर मान लो मैं एक ही चीज़ को नहीं, मैं मल्टीपल आइटम्स को स्टोर करना चाहता हूँ, लाइक जैसे कि मैंने यहाँ पे रहमान स्टोर कराया है, पर now I want to store 2 students or 3-4 students together, so I am not using append again and again. So let's do it in append first, and I am going to tell you that what will happen. So I forgot to write about 2 names, so I have written here 4 names already, but I forgot to I forgot to add 2 more students. So first is Rahman, and then second is uh, begin store Rajat here. So now if I am using append here, so it is an error, because in append, with the help of append, we can only add one student, we can't use multiple students. So for this the built-in function we use is extend function. So I can use here names dot extend, and then Rahman, and then I can use here Rajat also. So now there will be no error if I am using in extend here. So I can remove this append, and if I print the names, and you can see, so there will be an error. Let me see it first. Oh, it is just a syntax error. If we are extending something, so we have to put it in a square braces. So sorry for that. Now it will be fine. And see here Rahman, and the last is Rajat is added successfully, so we don't have any problem in that. So that's how extend works, and that's how append works. So there's a difference between extend and append. I've told you in append we only can add one last thing into the list, and in extend we can store multiple things at the last of the string. So this is the difference, and let's move to the further topics. Next built-in structure or built-in function is index. So if I want to add something on the index, I know that I have to add something on that index. So how I'm going to do it? So with the help of insert. So now if I want to add something, okay, let me remove it first, and then now I can use insert here. So I'm using insert, and then I have to specify on which index I have to store something. So on second index, if I want to store something on second index, like I want to store the name of a random girl, so I can use girl here. So now on second index, which is at Priya, so no, I haven't printed, sorry. So now you can see here, see Yash, Rahul, and then girl is a part skipped, and Priya is shifted to the next, and Riya shifted to the next. So that's how it works. We have to specify index first, and then we have to specify the value which we want to store in the index. So that's how insert works. And let's move to the next topic, which is a remove built-in function. So we can use remove here also. So let me remove it first. So now if I want to remove Priya from the string, so I can use remove here and remove Priya. So you can see here it is removed now, and if I want to print it, see Priya will not be printed here. See only Yash, Rahul and Riya is printed, but there is a problem in that. If I want to remove Priya, but Priya is occurred 2 times in list, so the first occurrence of Priya will be removed and the last occurrence will not be removed. So remove function only remove the first occurrence of the element which you provide. So as you can see here, it is printed as Yash, Rahul, Riya and Priya. So that's how it works. So if we have more than one occurrences, it will only remove the first occurrence of the element which we provide. So that's what you have to think and learn. So write it in your notes and then move to the next. We can use pop also, which is means of pop. If I am using pop here, so see what it does. Print. So let me comment it out first. So now you can see it is printed, but remove the last letter of last element here from the list. So by default it removes from the last topic, last element. So if I want to specify that at which index I want to remove, we have to provide the index. So if I provide index value, it will pop out the index value from the list. So if I want to remove Rahul here, so what is the index value of that? So index value of Rahul is 1. So if I provide 1 here and see, the Rahul will be removed. You can see Yash and then Rahul is removed and then it is printed as Priya, Riya and again Priya. So if we specify 4 here, so it will remove the last Priya. You can see here Yash, Rahul, Priya and Riya. So that's how pop works. So it is all about pop, and we can use clear also. If I want to remove everything from the list, I need an empty list, I can use uh, clear here. And now if I do print names, now you can see here the list is empty now because I have used clear and it will clear all the elements from the list. The list is now empty and it returns an empty list. So that's how we can use clear. And now two more things. If we want to print the list into the ascending order, like you can see here, it is on random numbers 78, 67, 98 and 56. It is not on the in the order. So if I want to print them in order, printing it in order, I can use here built-in function which is marks, and you can see here sort. So if I do sort and then print marks here, so now you can see it is printing in the ascending order. You can see by default it does ascend. So 56 is the smallest part, then 67 and 78 and then 98 is the largest part here. So it does sort it in ascending order by default. But if I want to print it in a descending order, so what I have to do now? So for printing it in reverse, like for using sort, and if I use this, so it will print it in ascending order. But if I want to print it in the descending order, so I have to write here reverse and is equal to true. So now it will print it in descending order. You can see 98 is the biggest and then the smallest is 56 in the list. So that's how it works. So now the next part is, if I want to reverse the whole string, like if I need to see, if we see the list first which is marks and if I print it, it will return it as 78, 67, 98 or 56. Yes, we can reverse it from the list slicing also. If I use marks and then do it -1 and then -1 again, so I can print it in reverse like that also, but there is a built-in function also for that. I can use print marks dot reverse also, so it will reverse the string. You can see here, now you can see it is printing as 78. Oh, sorry. So we can't print it like that, it will return no. So I have to print it first. I have to clarify it. Now it will be reversed, and now if I am printing marks again, so now you can see it will be reversed. So that's how it works. So you can practice that more, and you have to learn the syntax of each and everything which I have told you. So now let's move to the next topic. So for now we have done with the elements and variables, and then the built-in functions which we use in the list methods. Now come to the next, which is traverse list using for loops and while loops. So yes, we can use loops in that also. Let me give an example of for loop in the list. Let's come to the, so now we are on a VS Code. Let me clear it out first. And then, so suppose if we have a list here of some numbers stored, 76, then 87, then 98, then 52. And now if I want to add 10 in every element of this list, so for adding 10 in every element, I can use a loop here. So with the help of loop, like for I n lst, and I come to the nested list part. Nested list is nothing, it is a list inside a list. We can store some data into the list in another format, like if I want to store some info which is in a list format, so we use square braces for the list. And if I am using here Yash, and then the second name, sorry, and now the second name is Ria, and then if we want to store one more list into the list, so we can do that. So I'm using Rahul, and then I can store some more images. It should be in a double dots. So you can see here, and we can move again. So I can use I don't know here. So now that's how we can store it, and I can print it also simply. It will not cause any kind of error. See, list into the list is printed simply. There is no error into that. So I can do slicing also here. I can do indexing also here. Indexing is works like first it is a value, Yash is at 0, and then Riya is at 1, and then Rahul and Priya, they both are in a list, and according to the first list it is on the index 2, but inside a list Rahul is at 0. So if I want to print Rahul only, so what I'm going to do is Rahul and Priya, is they both are in the list which is at second index, so I have to specify second index here. And then inside the second list I have to specify the indexing of Rahul. So Rahul is at 0 here. So now you can see if I am printing Rahul, so Rahul is printed. So that's how we can do double indexing here. So we can apply our concepts of list slicing also, and then indexing also, like that. If I want to return Priya only, so I can use here one, and see the output which is Priya. So that's how nested list works. Don't worry about that. In upcoming lecture we are going to do some practice questions on that, so you will be understanding more about it. So for now, let me give you one more example of that. If I want to store some info, that is a simple example. Like if I want to store number and marks in the list format, like for student Yash, and I want to store numbers 98, and then I can use comment. So there's a spelling error. Now you can see I can use Rahul, and use marks 87, and then again one more area which is 67. So now I can print it simply. Oh sorry, I can't use it like that, so I have to specify it with commas. So now you can see here, oh I forgot to write comma, it's the syntax error. So see, it is stored, there is no error in that. If I want to print the info, so the info will be printed as it is. There is no problem in that. So that's how we can store the data of students into the list and inside the list. So also we can use loops into that. So in upcoming lectures in practice section, we are going to do the questions, practice questions on that. Till now what I have told you about, let me give you a clear conclusion of all that. Let's come to the PPT. So we have done list multiple elements, single variable. You can access item by indexing. We have done indexing. We have done append, insert, remove, and many more built-in functions. So we have done traverse using for loops, and yeah, we have done nested lists also. So there are advanced methods which is insert, remove, and sort, which with the help of them we can manipulate the data, and we have done with all of them. So now nested lists are important. So we are done with the nested list also. So now the conclusion is string and list powerful real world web development and automation. String formatting build dynamic HTML content, while list structure manage routes from data and automate workflows, making Python essential for building modern web apps and scripts. So, in data analysis and AI, lists are stored data sets and modern inputs, while string methods clean and pre-process text, from parsing CSV files to feeding data into machine learning. So, it is advanced concepts. You don't have to learn each and everything now. So, you can do the things which I have told you. I have told you about what are the lists, what are the strings, learn about the indexing and the built-in functions, built-in methods of the strings and list, how we do slicing, all of that, and you can practice some practice questions with the help of ChatGPT also. So this is all for this lecture. Thanks for watching the lecture. Let's meet in the new lecture. Thank you.
वीडियोस बनाने हैं, फिल्मोरा है ना।